Welcome to the Midweek Top-Up Show. It's a top-up show, isn't it, Glenn?
It is a top-up show. Race 2.
Now, Mark hasn't had a chance to talk about the horses yet, so we expect detail from you, Mark.
No, we don't. No, we don't. It's a top-up show.
All right. So how badly affected by the scratchings was the preview show last night, Gord?
Not much. Just sort of made me happy about my selections because I was a little bit worried about track bias, and when there's smaller fields, I think it's easier to overcome.
Okay. Well, yeah, 40 mils at Randwick overnight, 4 mils at Gosford. So, but it is supposed to sort of shower through the day. I think 2 mils in the hour leading up to race 1. So look out for that. Obviously, the rail's out 3 metres. A position I don't particularly like at Gosford because I prefer the running line days of the normal rail. And just before we go, no mounting yard mail today because the Glenster will be ensconced in his pad, doing his best, but can't get to Gosford today.
No. And also, yeah, I won't be there. And also, the Ford's blown up as well, so that's another reason.
Exactly. So we might have to pass the hat around. Hey?
And guess what? The Ford's blown up, but he doesn't want to drive the Bentley because there's a chance of hail. Bloody hell.
Let's bet on. It's a moral in race 1, isn't it good? Oh, you got the Betfair market up?
Yeah, coming up. It's coming up. And unfortunately, my Zoom's playing up. But
oh, geez, what's that? Yeah,
that's
funny picture in the background.
Is that better?
No, go back more like it was last time. That's better. Perfect.
Okay. So we've got an interesting 2-year-old race here. Obviously, a ton of scratchings, and I don't know why 15 bother to accept them, then 8 of them scratch with no good reason. But anyway, we mentioned the Newnham phenomenon of late, first up and first starter. They've obviously got a first starter that's just had the 2 short course trials. What did you do with it, Gord?
Yeah, got it on top. I backed it. It is an open race. I think there are other chances in the race, but yeah, on top for me. Really like the trials and actually tick that box that you just mentioned there, which I'm keen on Newman fresh these days.
And not to mention the Newnham phenomenon. What about the Par phenomenon from Barrier 9?
Yeah, the scratchings actually work out really well for this horse.
Yeah, I know. Racing is the World's map at 3 wide outside the lead, and the 2 underneath come out. So
yeah. There
you go.
There it is. Just gets complete control. It's a 1,000-metre race.
That's what I'm saying. It sort of worked out nicely.
If you weren't on this already, Gord, you'd be saying this is a complete moral. But because you're now on it, you're thinking, yeah, I think this will be got a good chance, because the.
I mentioned there's a few other little sneaky things. So that Pracer-Light trialled against 4 moves ahead. So that's a good line. Gulf of Aden has trialled against some decent horses, and Substitution was all right in its trial. So. Look, I'm happy just to back one horse, which is Russian Standard, but there's some, snippets of other stuff.
Yeah, and of course, Snowden pulled out his $750,000 Amen corner to rely on his $350,000 debut failure conglomerate, who now gets T-Berry.
They spent some big dollars on some 2-year-olds, don't they?
Yeah, with, we've got one going around later, and it's probably going to run double figures in the worst maiden you've ever seen, Kalishnikov.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. Like, I remember we were out there drinking, I picked out the best athlete, and Gore went to 72,000 to get us Intolerant. Like, wouldn't you rather spend in that range and get a nice little horse that can race? That range just seems so much better, 40 to 70.
Well, it was one of the only occasions, isn't it, where we ended up getting it for less than we were willing to go to.
Yeah,
so,
and fingers crossed. Looks like it's going good, guys.
Right, blue colours here, Gord. What do you make of it?
No, I'm against it.
It's like no pace in yucky races down in Melbourne, and
I mean, the only thing it's got, Mark, is it's coming off the strongest stuff. So it's coming off listed or group stuff or whatever. But I'm not seeing any talent in the horse, and I didn't like the trial.
Okay, beauty. Right, let's move on to race 2, which is a mile. Feels like a Canterbury night 1550-metre race, doesn't it?
Might be the easiest race I've ever done.
What, $33?
No, the other way. You can't possibly have a horse out of 1 leader, and you can't possibly have a horse out of another leader, but left one.
Wow, yeah. Matt and I said exactly the same thing last night.
Welcome back, Andrew Atkins. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Welcome back, Andrew Atkins.
This is 1,200 to a mile.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's going to suit this horse.
suit it for
I'm
sure.
guessing it's going to suit this horse.
Well, you can't possibly have anything out of the Hawkesbury race. And the Canterbury race, a Pollitt was unlucky.
Yeah.
That's normal. Then. Pollets are normally lucky.
Yeah.
But they're just
It's the
terrible.
Pollets, it's the Collets that run good. The Pollets are unlucky.
I agree. But I'm just saying, doesn't it look like Five's a Dicky Bird?
It looks like a good horse to me too.
Strong form out of the race. Put away the last 100. It almost looked like a 6 furlong barrier trial the other day.
Well, it was. What about it just got out late and extended?
Beautiful.
Extended, as I mentioned last night, better than Military Parade. So,
All right, so you're very keen, Gord.
I mean, I'm already on at better prices than that.
Well, yeah, no, but okay. So our punters are looking at, what are they looking at? 5 to 2 at the moment. Is that a bet or not?
Yep.
There's question marks. That's 2 to 1, 5 to 2.
It is a weird race, isn't it? It's a very strange race. I mean, that I know what you're saying about the Canterbury 1550. I did think that. I hope that the race callers can work out how to. I suppose Darren's calling today. He won't call this visceral like Luke and Mitch have been. But anyway,
What's his name?
Visceral.
Visceral.
It's not a hard C.
Not everyone knows that. I would have thought it was, I don't know, visceral, but there's no C. Visceral.
There is a C, but it's a soft C, not a hard C.
Okay. I used to get C in all my grades, so that's why I'm struggling with it.
All right, we'll just move on, eh? Sorry to bog you down there. Race 3.
You're not bogging us down, but I just... Yeah.
Race 3, and we've got an interesting matchup here because Salatine was dynamic first up, wasn't it, Gordon? I think you suggested that this was the turn of the Snowdens, and in the week after that, they trained 4 city winners, and all of them won by nose.
Yes, there we go. That's the luck of the Sutherland. Yeah, I'm liking the scratchings, Mark. I like the fact that it's only a 6-horse field. This horse absolutely flew. Weak opposition. I don't have an opinion of Geist, and I've had enough of Super Effort, and the others are walkers. The bias would have to be gigantic for this thing not to win.
Yeah, well, she was very different. Like she was forward ridden in most of the runs last campaign, and obviously relished being ridden back. In fact, I think I found her first up in a maiden at Newcastle, and she was ridden too quietly, but finished the race off beautifully. So I suppose that seems her MO. Glenn, are you for the favourite?
For the favourite, ripped through the line, attacked the line, and it really extended the last bit. Horse on the way out.
It's only going to be 3 lengths off him too. It can't be too far off him.
Look, I'm turning to Gord today. My first 3 numbers are 4, 5, 6. They're the same as Gord's, I suppose. In the first 3 races, 4, 5, 6. I mean.
Okay. Look, favourite's eminently likeable. I think this is Super Effort's last ever hope. I mean, it's 1,200 against these after running against its own age last time and being on the inside at 1,400. Race 4 is.
Well, it's an unusual race, isn't it? Like 7 of the 8 runners out of the same race. Gee, that's unusual.
Yeah, it is very unusual in that sense. It's fed straight by that 2,200 at Warwick Farm, where Lagrisa got a perfect run, but also pissed in. So, I can understand the appeal in this race, but it is a staying race, isn't it? Too short?
It is too short.
Gord, are you declaring the top one, or are you taking the race off?
33.
33 for Gord. I'm tipping number 1, but I'm looking more at the $3 range, not the $2 range.
Yeah, well, look, I went looking for it and marked it $4 favourite. So clearly,
wow.
I'm thinking that it's a horse to beat, but it's too short. It's funny. The map is the same as at Warwick Farm as well. Venacious leading Castel San Angelo, Lagrisa top seating, and space is deep, either taking 1-1 or trailing Lagrisa if nothing wants to move up on the outside. Sabi Valentino is pretty hot at this course. I know it's got no city form, but it's got T. Clark, who has had particularly good success on this horse. So it'll be interesting to see if it can convert Gosford. And obviously, number 3 needs it wet, so he's looking for some rain prior.
Okay.
Particularly boring race, boys.
Race
Thank God I'm going to gossip. What are you laughing at, Tim?
Sorry to put you to sleep. Race 5 is
Oh, no.
the two 1100 metre maidens. And when I can bring it up, that will help. This is the race I forecast earlier, or previewed earlier with Kalishnikov, who has been ridden off the speed this preparation and trials, were ridden off the speed first up in a Saturday race and didn't pass a runner. No indication that it's going to be ridden forward when it could be if it wanted to be. So it looks like Nash has to lead here on double X, which I presume is why he's hard in the market. What did you say here, Gord?
Yeah, double X just wins. I don't think Rail is a horse with a lot of quality, and Kalishnikov tries like a bomb, and on race day just doesn't show up. Double X could be a good horse. I talked about it for a considerable amount of time on last night's show, Mark. So I'm loving the map even more now.
That'll do, hey. GP, what do you think?
I'm tipping Intolerant in this race. 3-year-old Notwood's Geld Maiden, 50,000. Where are we? Why are we in here? God, this is a nice race for us, guys. I'm tipping 6 from 3, 2 opes.
Yeah, the only thing in 6's defence is that it did go to 1,300 the other day, and it made up it made the sort of dash that had it trading at $1.20 on the fair.
Yeah.
And it did have the best closing figures on that Gosford Guineas day.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Gosford. So if you look
that's from ratings to win.
That's from ratings to win. So I'll just confirm that. But the it's not very happy with me. I'd have to move that thing away. Oh, look at that. Yeah. So just to chase that up there. Raoul.
Anyone who likes numbers, racing's for you.
Okay. Yeah. So the best last 600, the best last 200 on the Gosford program all day, and the next best in that race was the winner, which had the 6th best last 600 on the day.
Okay, so it's franked a bit with that.
Yeah, so it's I'm
not sure your screen's coming on right.
Yeah, I'll fix it in a second.
Yeah.
I was just needed to look it up, and unfortunately.
Yeah.
How's that look, Gord? The better?
Yeah,
back to
Betfair.
Back to our friend Betfair.
Yeah.
My friend's ratings to wins now. Geez, I've got some good cheats now. Real good cheats.
You were top of the class in our lesson the other day, Gord.
Those are, yes, for our listeners and viewers, there was a tutorial hosted by Paul on Monday, and Glenn and Gord were battling each other for the entire 2 hours.
2 little teacher's pets. Mr. Daly, pick me.
I don't think we were like that, but anyway.
We're kind of like that.
Oh.
Yeah, it is a very strange, supposedly city class maiden. A bit more interest in the fillies at race, I really think. Yeah, this looks a competitive race where Attribution's resumes here, has had all her runs at the provincial. We've got another Newnham first starter, which I wasn't that impressed with. And Lee Curtis has got,
National Willer for starters. And he's had a few winners lately, which is great for Lee and his wife, who's now the partner or in the trainership. The training.
What'd you say here, Gord?
Yeah, really tough race. I'm going to entertain a bet on number 4 Bright Eyed Girl, just 900 up to 11.
Yeah, really carried on really, like wobbled around there at Newcastle. I think you talked about it. Of course, the other horse that came out of that trial has won, beating
Calgary something or other.
Calgary Queen, yes, sorry, beating another one of Chris Lee's deep odds on favourites. So I think this race is a bit up for grabs. What are you saying, GP?
Not 100% sure here, guys. Not 100% sure. Now, the ones in the market, I probably prefer number maybe $33 for me there.
And Gord, did you have a look at number 9 at all?
Yeah, I'm going to have something on it. Yeah. Because it's going to be what, 20 to 1 or something like that, or?
Yeah, it seemed to do something in its trials.
It's done. Look, it tried. It showed what it's got in its trials, but that could be enough in this race. And I'm just, I love it when these jockeys come back from injuries and the trainers try and give them a leg up. You know what I mean? So 20 to 1, that's enough to those 2 little positives.
And Bowman hasn't got a ride in the race.
And who? Sorry.
Bowman hasn't got a ride in
Oh yeah. So he's safe. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, look, I must say I was against 1, against 5, and not sure about 8.
Yeah, and I understand that thought pattern too.
I think that's perfect summation. Yeah.
Race
I lost.
nightcap. Here we go. Flexible just finds a way up to 1600. She does sit back in a brutally run race here. It's amazing to put down 9 horses and see as much speed as there potentially can be in this race. Obviously, Know It All Jack will be seeking the lead. Not that, I mean, even if it's a leader's track, it probably doesn't matter. What did you say here, Gord?
Yeah, flexible. Got a couple of key negatives, but the horse is absolutely flying, and I don't think there's a lot of opposition here.
So that's deep first prep and
deep first prep, deep blue colours prep,
yeah,
and map negative are the 3 negatives. But I don't really care. I think you can overcome those.
And DP.
Oh well, for all those reasons, I sort of went to the one above it because I was so uncomfortable with 8.
You know that's a ranting horse, that one. So Brian from Queensland, I think it's from Queensland.
Okay.
He's in this horse. Yeah.
Well,
So,
it ripped through the line of Canberra. I just thought with Nash, maybe it's my top pick, but
it's H. Bowman.
Oh, I wrote down Nash. I wrote down Nash.
Nash top one.
Oh, from number 1 because it was Nash. That's what I was thinking. Sorry. I was 7 from 1. I can't entertain the favourite there, guys. And also coming off the PR down the right part of the track last start, Jordan.
Just flying.
It is a conundrum. I think it does set up beautifully for backers and layers there in the last. And I couldn't go to the Canberra horse. I thought that number 1, who has been kept fresh here, was a horse that can win.
Yeah, I'm going to hedge on 1 and just hope Canberra form doesn't stand up. But
okay.
All right, that's
been a good show, guys.
Well, that's
good
a little
top up.
Yes, thanks for that, Glenn. Okay, so check out the chat room this afternoon for any intel on Gosford. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people wanting to talk about today's meeting and what the weather's doing and what the track's doing. And we'll be back on Friday for a look at Randwick, which has already had 2 inches of rain this morning, so they won't be putting up a nice track, or they won't be putting up any type of track condition that's other than wet at acceptance time, which is round about now. And there is more rain probably likely to fall the rest of the week. So it looks like a wet around Stakes Day, Chipping Norton Stakes Day on Saturday. We'll be here on Friday for a look at that. And meanwhile, I hope you get something out of today. See ya.
Thanks, boys.
Hey, guys.